Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh and salam sejahtera. I'm Siti Sarah binti Ibrahim, a representative of my other team members from UITM Negeri Sembilan. We would like to share our study entitled The Impact of University Technology Mara UITM Towards Local Entrepreneurial Development, the Case of Negeri Sembilan. So before we go further, let's have some introduction of this study in which we would like to highlight on the development of UITM Cawangan Negeri Sembilan, which has created institutional growth and provide opportunities for people in this country to gain knowledge in different major fields. And in fact, the newly established campuses in the states, for example, Rembau and campus branch, Rembau and Seremban campus are in line with institutional growth to open up a corridor for education hubs. Even though vigorous development has taken place, but the identity and the landscape of the state remains the same. This is what we want. The aim is to retain the identity of the village and at the same time improve certain areas without affecting the original landscape as customary land. And thus, the present growth in education offers an incentive for dramatical changes in the sector. And the existence of the students, teachers, staff has created a different basic requirements such as accommodation needs, books and stationeries, transportation, and etc. And thus, this study is initially aimed to examine the pattern of business economy activities around UITM Cawangan Negeri Sembilan and measure the level of economic impact contributed by UITM CNS. And therefore, the objective of our study are firstly to identify the pattern of the economic activity around UITM CNS among the industries and businesses. And secondly is to identify the level of economic impact contributed by UITM CNS on the development of the industries and business communities. The method used in this paper are land use categorization using geographical information system, which is GIS, and followed by a survey in which about 63 respondents has participated in this survey, which those respondents has established their business or their companies within a distance of 10-kilometer radius from the UITM campuses, which is at Kuala Pilah, Rembau, or Seremban. Alright, so before we go further towards the findings or in detail on the method that we use in this study to come up with the findings, let's have some literature review which we feel important that contribute to what we have done today. So today I would like to highlight some literature. Previous authors, previous scholars did mention about the impact of the development towards the states, whether urban or rural. Alright. For example, we look at the study by Bambade et al. 2019 has mentioned that development policies emphasize the industrial and municipal sectors rapidly experience has given some implication actually to the environmental health of the country. And of course, even though the development is aimed at encouraging economic growth, this still has impacted the environmental quality that can be said to occur anywhere in Malaysia, especially in urban and even rural areas. And furthermore, a study by Jovovic et al. 2017 also mentioned the environmental problem experienced from the impact of this implementation, especially from the unsustainable development. And therefore, there is not surprising why the impact of development on the environmental is currently increasing, even though there are responsible bodies has been set up to overseeing it or increasing the rules and regulation towards the formulation of controlling part. But still there is creating an impact towards the development, towards the environmental. Alright, and then looking also at the study from Masni et al. 2012 has mentioned about the urbanization process that have led to the various negative effects from this kind of development, especially on the quality of life. And this also resulted to the from the existence development, even though a new economic opportunities has been developed from this the development of implementation. And it is also supported from by Suhaya et al. 2013, which also mentioned that this urbanization development will have impacted led from the what we call it this kind of development from various, actually, whether positive or negative impact. So from our study, we are conducting a study to see whether there is a positive impact, especially on the economics developments, having establishment of UiTM Negeri Sembilan in campus Kuala Pilah, Rembau or Seremban. So basically, the method that we use in our study is which is firstly, we start with the satellite data, which are acquired from the satellite and sensors to study the land use and land cover area. We are categorizing the geographical information based on the geospatial web-based maps application and the production of the map. And after that, we are proceeding this methodology using a quantitative data collection through a questionnaire in which we have distributed to 63 respondents, which participation was come from CEO or the owner of the industrial or business companies within a distance of 10-kilometer radius from the UiTM campuses. So basically, the campuses is emphasis the business that nearby to UiTM Negeri Sembilan traders such as Kuala Pilah, Seremban 3 and Rembau. And the data collected from the study were analysed using cross-tabulation. Alright. So basically, this is the findings of our study. Looking at the demographic vector, we are also conducting a demographic analysis of the study to see the percentage of the respondents coming from which location, from which types of companies, sectors, and etc. So based on the demographic analysis, we found out that we can see here mostly the location of the industry has averagely coming from Kuala Pilah, Rembau and Seremban, of course, but we can see that most of the companies was come from the local company here. And then looking at the sector, we can see that the services sector is the monopoly at those district area from Kuala Pilah, Rembau and Seremban. And then, of course, comes from the Bumiputra, which is 71.5%. And finally, most of the companies registered was coming from the individual registration, which accumulated to 67.74%. So that was basically the demographic findings of this study, whereby we can conclude here that most of the business owner nearby to Kuala Pilah, Rembau and Seremban was come from the local company and providing a services businesses which are set up by individually. Alright, then the second one is the most important one, which is we would like to see the factors that influence the local business or industries owners to operate their business in Negeri Sembilan. Table 2 here shows the reason for them to set up their business, in which we have coming up with three main reasons, whether the location, facilities and the demand. And then from here we can see that most of the business owners in Kuala Pilah, Rembau and Seremban was justified that the location is the most significant influence that reasonize them to operate their business in Negeri Sembilan, whether at Kuala Pilah, Seremban or Rembau. Then it is followed to the demand from the communities, as well as finally is for the facilities, which is the least one, which is accumulated to 15.33%. Alright. And then furthermore, we also asking about the question on the business and UiTM development, which is focuses on the impact, how the establishment of UiTM Cawangan Negeri Sembilan has giving an impact to the business, or whether giving an impact to the alumni itself. So based on the study, we can see that mostly agreed that about 90% has agreed that the establishment of UiTM Cawangan Negeri Sembilan has given a big impact to their businesses, to their operational businesses. We can see here almost 90.5% of them agreed on this statement, which is UiTM is one of the contributor to the business growth. And the findings further explain that the high numbers of students and staff in UiTM also are the customers' main target group for their businesses. In detail, most of the local businesses or industry owner claim that 29 of them perceive there would be a minimal impact, which is about 46.5%, and 20 of them perceive moderate effect, which is 31.7%, and only 9 of them perceive as high impact, which is 14.3% on the UiTM development. All right. So basically, we also add up one question to give an added value to our study, which is we are requiring recommendation from the local business or industry owner for UiTM to assist them in their businesses. And most of them, the findings are showing that most of the business owners are recommended that UiTM Cawangan Negeri Sembilan can contribute to their local business or industrial ownership program. For example, having a marketing program, local business industrial ownership, computer and IT, social marketing, food management, and graphic design. And about 30%, the list was recommended for having a technical skills training, for example, repair motorcycle, automotive, construction, and so forth. Alright. So that's all the findings of our study. So thus from the study, we can conclude that the entrepreneurs in nearby to UiTM Negeri Sembilan agreed that the development of UiTM is simultaneously giving a major impact to their business. Even the students will not have all time in the area, but the facilities and amenities provided for the students' convenience indirectly will beneficial to the community nearby. Apart from that, UiTM Cawangan Negeri Sembilan also undertake the consulting services and expertise to the government and the private sector, as well as non-profit organisation. And in addition to that, social responsibility activities has also become an organizational culture at work, with the organization of community services program consistently, especially to the benefit of local community in Negeri Sembilan. Alright, to conclude my presentation today, we believe that the establishment of UiTM Cawangan Negeri Sembilan will give a positive impact towards the community within the areas, and we hope that we can still continue to give a benefit, to give a positive impact to the local community, to not only to the local community, in fact to the students, to the alumni, and also to the industry nearby our campuses. And with that, I would like to say thank you for listening, and I hope we can still have a chance to have a sharing session in future. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.